Hi guys. In this session, we are going to discuss about business analyst technical questions and answers. So this will give you the in detail insight about how your business analyst interview you can manage it, because in this particular session I'm gonna cover almost more than 50 plus different questions and answers on different areas, so you can also follow the same to crack your next business analyst interview. Because as a GMT Academy, we are fully committed to support you guys, or to help you to I would say, to get a new jobs in corporates and all. And yes, so far we have supported more than 5,000 plus working professionals and students to get a job in their career, and you could be the next. So let's start with our session. All right, I would request you please carry pen and paper and note down each and everything, because again, I'll also save this PPT also in the description. You can means download it from there, but additionally you can also try to note down all your important I would say questions. Whatever you have, you can also send us email, or maybe you can also write in the description if you're looking for anything else. So let's start with our discussion. The first question is, see, in this particular module, as I said, we're going to cover the business analyst interview questions, basically technical questions and answers that we're going to cover. So let's see. The first question is, how do you see, as a business analyst, you may expect question like, how do you define a requirement? Requirement is nothing but, guys, let's say, for example, let's take example. If you want to design an application for, let's say, maybe online you can say, let's say, cab booking, right? So if we talk about that application, so it means here the requirement is user interface, right? Back end of application. Then what are the feature that you're expecting? Maybe customer profile or user profile, user like type, or user KYC documents, user vehicle number, different types of vehicles, all of that's come into picture, correct? So that's what, as a business analyst, you will have to collect all the requirements to design any particular application. But before designing and also, requirement gathering is the first task, where you can gather the requirement and also discuss that requirement with the technical people, or let's say technical business analyst, or you can you can discuss that with your let's say developers as well, and then only they can proceed with the. But again, before that also, you might say the feasibility check and also. In this way, if you see in terms of like how you can deal with this question, like a requirement is a component of comprehensive solution aimed at solving a problem or achieving an objective. So basically here, when we say requirement, it means whenever business or any process or product has any problem as such, as a business analyst, so we collect the input, we collect the details or information, and that information basically we discuss or share with the developers or any concerned person in the business, or process or product, right? So that they can take care of it, that part. So this is how basically we define the requirement. All right. So the next question is, how do you define the role of business analyst in an organization? See, this is a very interesting one, guys, right? So a business analyst, answer, you can also tell them, look, a business analyst is a liaison between different stakeholders in an organization. It can be your marketing team, operation team, middle office, back office, developers, or any external clients, right? Even your managers, or different people, I would say, like product owners and all. So all that comes under as a stakeholders, and as a business analyst, you will have to liaise with all of them. All right. So business analysts, of course, act as a bridge and connector, and helps to complete projects, teamwork as a tightly integrated units. All right. And since stakeholder belongs to a different domain, finance, business, marketing, as I said, and it's imperative for a business analyst to be able to sort and balance the needs of these stakeholders while fulfilling the business objectives at the same time. All right, so this is how you can answer to them, how or what would be your role. See, maybe on the ground, if you're a working business analyst, let's say, so you might say different situations, because say business analyst, it's not something that in a constitutional role where you will have certain roles and responsibilities. No, because they may assign, because this role also, it's kind of a multifaceted role, so they can assign different tasks. All right, with the different organizations also, you might say different roles and responsibilities as well. If I talk about product based companies like FIS, or other companies like who are a fintech, so you might see the different roles and responsibilities of business analysts. If I talk about any, let's say, payment industry, or any product industry, or let's say online marketing industry like Amazon, or marketplace like Amazon or Zomato and all, so with them you might say different roles and responsibilities and all right. So basically here, so my point is, as a business analyst, so your main role is to connect with everyone and understand the business problems, because at the end we are here to resolve the business problems. That's all right. So another question I would be like, see, what is your requirements elicitation strategy? See, the elicitation strategy depends upon multiple factors: type of project, right? What type of projects that you are looking for? Maybe it is a support, maintenance, enhancement, or whatever it is. Availability of stakeholders, like who are who are the stakeholders, and are they available to share the information or discuss the problems with you? If yes, then you can proceed with further. Then another one is nature of requirements. What sort of requirements that the team they are looking for, right? Let's talk about, let's say, operation team. See, when I was working as a business analyst with one of the company, I can't disclose the name. So the team was facing some problems with the data, right? Data, it means they just wanted to fetch the data in reconciliation system, and they just wanted to increase the auto match percentage, and that was their problem. And then I actually means collected the requirement, and their expectations and everything, and perform some detailed analysis, like how we can leverage out our developers or their skills to design any different tools, or maybe enhance the existing capacity to increase the the capacity, like auto match capacity and all. And then after I got to know that the system has also capacity, if we can little bit deep dive some the input or information, then we can also increase the auto match rules and all. So that's how you can understand, means in your case, maybe you can see different projects, and also see this means it is purely depends on your projects. All right. Then after one can take advantage of a direct collaboration with the client, and have a facilitated workshops, interviews, and observe the end users. In a conjunction, one can also use technique that provide more precise information, like prototype and scenario building as well. See, this basically, it's a very it seems more theoretical, but I have already explained it, see how it works and all. So you can also go through it, or I would suggest like try to get some few practical examples or case studies if you have, so that looks more I would say professional, and as you have experience as well. So maybe in my next episode, I'll try to incorporate all practical examples, whatever that I have done, and I'll record the session around it. All right. So the fourth question is, what are the best practices you follow while writing a use case? All right. The following are the best practices to write a clear and well documented use case. Create the use case from the user's point of view and not the system's point of view. So it means, see, ultimately who access or who worked on system, of course user, right? If I talk about, let's say, Facebook, who is actually accessing that Facebook platform? Of course user or merchant. At the end, the users is only accessing that platforms and all, right? So think from their perspective, then only you can resolve problems as a business analyst, right? Then second is capture both functional and non-functional requirement in use cases. Whatever it is, see whether it is a required or not required, whether it is must have or just a good to know, whatever it is, just gather all the information before go ahead with any conclusion, or maybe the development parts and all. So include use case diagram along with the use case. So always it is good to have that if you can design a flow from like A to B, B to C, C to E, so that gives more sense. For example, let's say if I talk about online banking accounts, let's say if user update the ID and password directly, which tab that you can you can direct to the user, maybe to the, let's say, balance account, or maybe let's say credit card account, offer section, or their own investment section. Where exactly? Because in an online portal also you can see multiple options, right? Your investment option, loan options, bank balance, credit card statement, see your different services, supports. But where you will direct to that users on the online bank account portal, where, right? So that also means you can, as a business analyst, you will have to take care of it. All right. And then include the UI details, notes in the use cases. UI, it means user interface. UI means user interface. What or how or which, the features that you are looking for as a user, right? See, for a user, what they want, first understand it. They just want simple interface, which they can understand it. They can easily, play around it. And see, I have seen couple of platforms where they have a huge complexity, right? Huge means huge. And there are couple of other platforms also where you can see they are very easy one, and easy to handle as well. All right, let's talk about YouTube. YouTube is not a difficult one. It's just a platform where you can directly upload the videos in whatever formats that you want, edit and upload it. If I talk about, let's say, enterprise application of Facebook, 60 to 70% people or users, they are not aware about it, right? So it's a very complex one. Even still today also, I'm not able to understand it in details. So that is what that interface, will call it as a user interface. See, the basic expectation would be it is easy to handle or operate that system, or maybe the user interface basically. All right. Then the next question is question number 5. What do you know about scope creep? Right, scope creep, first understand this. It is uncontrolled changes, deviation to the project scope without an increase in the other resources, schedule, budget of the project. Scope creep is a risk to the project and is usually caused by a poor project management, improper documentation of the project's requirements, and a poor communication between project stakeholders. Scope creep, it means at the end sometime what happens, see, I was working on one of the project with one of my US counterpart, and the project was like the payment system, and we designed couple of pages. Developer worked almost for a month, and at the end that guy wanted some changes in the UI, payment UI basically. Payment UI, it means where they just wanted additional features. But when I discussed that requirement with the developers, see, I was surprised, because see, we worked for more than 1 month, and after that, that guy, come up with a different feature. Like they just wanted something different, which wasn't which is not the part of this current, systems and all. But every day, we were talking on a call. Every day we were sharing the update with them, but they never, discuss or never shared their that they also, looking for that particular option. And then after all, see, when something change up to 1 month to 2 months, that comes with a cost, because the salary of a developers, then different teams, operation teams, consultant, business analyst, right? So it's not easy task. So that takes time. So it is a very important that, see, if you see any late changes in the process, or let's say in the developments and all, so always we should evaluate that. See, sometime we can understand the uncontrollable factors. Due to that, if we see any change, so we can try to expedite the change in the same budget and resources and all, but sometime it will not. So that's what, when we talk about risk, it means if you are not able to figure it out, the problems within a time, then that might cost you as well. So it is a responsibility of business analyst to understand all different risks which are associated with your project, product, and whatever business line that you are dealing with. All right. So definitely, if you're looking for any business analyst interview, so definitely you can expect question around like what is a scope creep, or maybe example of that. So you can explain in this way. All right. So next question is, what are the skills that a business analyst must possess? See, a business analyst must possess fundamental skills such as elicitation, problem solving, communication, and management skills, alongside must have some technical skills, I would say, like the software development understanding, not coding and all, but and the domain knowledge regarding the whatever domains that you're working for. If I talk about capital market, see, if you're looking for a business analyst role or consultant role in capital market, it is mandate that you should know the products like equity, bonds, debentures. Then if you're looking for a particular role in maybe fund administration, then you should know about financial reporting, regulations, understanding of the accountings and all in detail. See guys, see, the first part is, if you have a good understanding of a product, then only you can upgrade your analysis skills or maybe some technical skills, and then only you can apply for such a jobs. Because see, to get a job as a business analyst, it's not a difficult. First, understand this. It's not difficult, but to manage that all of the conversation and all with the stakeholders or with different this clients or projects, it is a very difficult, because every time we will have a different assignments, different projects, and sometime happen like you guys are not aware about it. That also happened. But again, it's important that that's what, see, your why your role is come into picture. So it is important that you guys are like, means as a business analyst, you are flexible, or let's say you have that mindset to understand the new business requirements or clients requirements or stakeholders requirements, and also how that you can pitch that products, or let's say whatever problems that you have to the different stakeholders and all. So that's what your role come into picture basically. So base is your fundamental knowledge of a process, product or business, and second is some technical skills, and of course third one is, which is a very key one, that is something communication, right? So you can just add all of this whatever I have said in this particular answer, and you can answer in this way, but do not directly read line by line, which will not create much impact. All right, then question number 7, how do you avoid scope creep? See, to avoid scope creep is it is kind of, again, this scope creep is kind of a big barricade, I would say, right, to the project success, and could be avoided. If you want to avoid, see, there is a very sometime you cannot, of course you cannot avoid it, but sometime you can, right? Sometime you can. So how you can make sure that you have documented everything from the beginning. Everything means everything. Even if you see, let's say small change, don't ignore that change. Record it, send to the across all the stakeholders, and ask them to approve it on time to time. Second is, follow the proper the change management process. If you see after 1 week change of 1%, add that 1% to the tracker and share that tracker with everyone, and ask them to provide approval. Up to 1 week or 2 week, if you see again another change, please add that happens. See, it's a product development journey or software development journey. In the software development journey, I have seen every day stakeholders come up with thousands of different requirements. Let's say your means the product CEO, let's say walking around or browsing some information on internet, and if they got to know, let's say this looks fine, so they'll share that information to you. Are you getting my point? That happened. So that's what your role come into picture, to track each and every means change, whatever that they're pushing you to do it. Just record it out, because on time to time, if you have everything documented or recorded, then you can if something even happened, you can convince to everyone to even to increase the budget also, right? That could be the another option. But if you have a documented everything, so your job would be safe and secure. Then informing the efforts of the change to the affected parties before making a change. So if you see any changes as such, or if you have requests for all of that, then again it's important to communicate them. And then entering a new requirement in the project log. So whatever information that you received, please maintain a log or a tracker wherever that you guys are maintaining. Please do it, right? So referring from adding additional feature to the existing functionality is also called gold plating. So this is just add-on, you can use that in your answer. The another question is, how do you deal with difficult stakeholders? Yeah, this is something very difficult, right? So I was working with one of the very critical clients, and that guy was like, from UK. He was like very, difficult to handle. Even if you see small change here and there, he used to, escalate everything to your super boss, and that your super boss will again will take your class in a different way. So I dealt with that client as well. So, but yeah, it's a part and parcel, you can say, of the business process. Sometimes we can't choose our clients, we can't avoid them, right? So we'll have to figure it out a way how you can deal with it. And to managing those clients, it's very essential that you should have to have the strong communication skills, understanding of a business, and then patience. That also helps a lot to dealing with all of such a difficult clients. And don't overreact it, I would say. Just control your anger. Sometimes happen that they'll pull you down, they'll just means in a very bad way, they'll just deal with you. But just be patient, understand their requirements, try to always improve your relations, right? Not by doing something wrong practices like asking for a party or this and that, but I would say like impress them by your skills, business and communication style, or how you are carrying some the exceptional skills, or how you are different than others, and how you are figuring out the problems. If you can just tell them, then definitely they'll cooperate you. So this is what something you can also tell them to the panel, or let's say your interviewer also, all right, to convince them. See this line by line, if you can use it, so it seems like honey coated, so do not use. But I would say like this is just for your or my reference, but you can try to always give a practical examples which can help them to understand like how you're good at managing different situations or stakeholders and all right. So the next question is, when are you done with the requirements? See, we consider the requirements are complete when they are elicited or extracted from all the critical stakeholders of the project. All right. Second one is the align with the project business case. Whatever requirements that you have gathered, so make sure it is aligned with the project or business case. Third one is they could be developed, completed with the resources available. Again, it's a very important, guys. If you don't have a resources and if you commit, again, it would be like it would be difficult for you. So make sure that you have evaluated everything before giving the final confirmation to your stakeholders and all. And the fourth one is all stakeholders of the project agree with the elicited requirements. So whatever elicited the requirements that you have received or confirmed, make sure that everyone is agreed. And I would say even if let's say they have approved whatever it is on a call, so make sure that you have also sent email from your side, because email communication, which is something which is provide more safety and security to you. If you have the confirmation on email, even if something happened in future, so you will have in return something to protect or defend yourself. All right. And of course, all the requirements that pass the above four criteria are considered formal and final. And these are then documented and sign off and become a part of the baseline project scope. All right. So this is how once you are done with the requirements, you can follow these steps to make sure that you have everything documented and taken approval from them. So same thing you can also tell to the panel as well if you are looking for any interview as such. Then the question number 10 is, can you tell us, you may expect question like this, can you tell us something about requirement traceability? What is this traceability, guys? Traceability implies that the requirements are uniquely identifiable and can be tracked. The single most important document to trace requirements is the requirement traceability matrix, so which you can design it or maybe you can access it if you have existing matrix. RTM matrix, right? So traceability must go backward and forward from user to test and design documents back through to high level requirements and vice versa. All right, for to provide of course maximum benefit and all. So there are a couple of benefits of having requirements traceability. First one is ensure complete coverage of requirements and avoid scope spillage, as illustrate how they will be met, well as scope script, and it is reinforced to the business community that their needs are understood, and in case of change request, it allows an analyst to assess the impact of that particular business. All right, so here basically, if you track all your requirements whatever you have received, if you can maybe create your tracker, or maybe you can also track it, maybe the Jira or any other platform if they have, so you can track it everything, and whenever if you see any change or anything as such, right, so you can just time to time you can resolve that issues as well, because see, that is what something we talked about, scope script, right? So if if you're like fail to ensure that like you haven't resolved the problems, and also eventually that will affect on the project, and that will push you in risk. To avoid that, it is very important to track your requirements. Track means clients requirements, and how you can track it, you can track it through the tracker. Basically, you can prepare a proper tracker, and through tracker you can track everything, means everything. All right, so this is how, once you have the requirement, then you can track it out, that requirement throughout the period. All right, let's take a couple of questions, like around again 5 questions, means total 15 questions that we'll have in this particular session. All right, the another question is like, what is the importance of flowchart, guys? See, flowchart always give you a sense, like let's say if you're designing any applications, right, from A to B, B to C, C to D, so in that way, if you just chart out that, so that gives more sense, I would say, and it is a very important. All right, so basically this flowchart, it's a very important one, and it's a graphical representation which is more straightforward and easy to understand to the developers as well, because developers, they can't understand your language basically, and that's what your role come into picture, to help them how the the development or functionality that you are looking for, because see, you are a bridge between operations and your developers team. So that's what it is, your role to understand the operation requirements, visualize in your mind, and flow down somewhere on the paper, or maybe anywhere, maybe in the application also, and share that flowchart with the team, developer team, or concerned stakeholders, I would say, right? Then also flowcharts helps with the process related documentation as well, and assists programmers in the writing the process logic, because see, that's what I said, if you provide them flowchart, they can build a logic, and accordingly they can develop a code and update codes in the system. And after all, again, so the last one could be like the testing and troubleshooting as well, in general purpose modeling that language used. So basically flowcharts, it's a very important one, and you should know it, how to design flow and all. See, it's not easy to draw a flowchart, guys. Understand that first, because if you don't have a knowledge, like maybe product knowledge, process knowledge, then you can't chart out that flow. So the basics, product knowledge and product process knowledge, I would say. All right. Then the question number 12, what is UML modeling? So UML modeling, which is Unified Modeling Language, is a general purpose modeling language which provides a standard way to visualize the design of a system. A modeling language is any artificial language that can express information, knowledge, or system in a structure defined by consist set of rules, and the rules are used to interpret the meaning of component in the structure. All right, so this is something which is a very technical one, but sometime you would expect question like, what is UML modeling? So you can brief in a way like, UML is a general purpose of modeling language which provides a standard way to visualize the design of system. All right, so in that way you can they explain, because the technical part, if you go in more technical, so they might ask more and more technical questions to you. Then question number 13, why do we use an activity diagram? Why do we use an activity diagram. An activity diagram stepwise in a listing of activities. So we use activity diagrams to elaborate on those processes that describes the functionality of a business system. So draw or chart out the activity diagram, list out all the activities which covers the entire business, product or process, and then prioritize them. So this is how we attack it even in a corporate. Then question number 14th, what are some of the standard tools that a business analyst uses? Some of the common requirements which I have seen, the MS Word, MS PowerPoint, MS Excel, DOORS, Ballast Make, Enterprise, Architect, Rational, Requisito Pro, MS Visio. And apart from that, nowadays, I don't understand the logic, because nowadays, the business analyst rules is asking the SQL, right? It is not something must have a requirement, but which is something like good to have a requirement. Then SQL, Power BI, Tableau, data visualization tools and all. So I don't think so that's something the proper business analyst role. So you might see that this is something, let's say, it's a very different role, but they are demanding the additional or add-on skills of a business, let's say technical skills for a business analyst role. So that might happen, but I don't think so which is required. You should see, if you have that knowledge, which is it's a good, of course, it's a value added advantage. All right. But nowadays I have seen that they're asking for that skills also. All right. Then the last question of the session is, what documents should a business analyst deliver? See, there are the documents like use case studies, process or business flow, the documents, then requirements, traceability matrix, basically that we prepare, then functionality matrix, right? How that functions works, and also that also we prepare it. Right, then functional requirement specification documents also we prepare and maintain. Then system requirement specification documents also that we prepare and maintain. Then activity or sequence diagram also that we prepare and maintain. And apart from this, the business requirement document. But let me tell you a secret. 90% the novice people who are very new to this industry, they are only aware about business and business required document, which is BRD. BRD is just one document, but apart from that, all these documents are required to prepare it, and we prepare it even. All right. So yeah, this was all about the business analyst top 15 questions. You can also check my next session also, so that I'll cover another 15 questions in that session, because I don't want to increase the size of this video, because it will not a good people like who are watching for this. It will again difficult for them to track their sessions and everything. So yes, just be there, click on the the bell icon, because I'll record the another session for another top 30 questions, so that you can attend this 15 and another 13 means 15, it means total 30 top questions that we would have covered it. All right. So we'll see you next session. Thank you for watching this. If you like this initiative, please do share this content with others as well. All right. Thank you for watching.